Hey everybody. Hey, welcome to Easy Markets Daily Pitch International with me, Darius. Because today's the 13th of June, 2023. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we go further, we need to quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and I'll disappear from that little left corner and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, guys, so also before we go further, just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us, guys. So, feel free to visit us here on easymarkets.com. Now, okay, so Nikkei. This one right here. Basically, what I have here is Nikkei here on our chart, on our Easy Markets chart. This is the future. These are the futures. And we had a nice little explosion here yesterday. Yesterday, the markets kind of felt quite positive. In general, we had a nice pop here above my target here, this 32,733. And if you remember yesterday, I talked about this and I said that my next target is going to be that psychological 33,000 mark. And if that gets cleared, then yes, I will go further. Sorry for picking my nose a little bit, but I'll go further. So at this point, one part of the deal is working out because we had that pop here above this 32,733. This confirmed the forthcoming higher high. And look, this is not the all-time high. Basically, the all-time high is somewhere near the 39,000 mark. So we still have a road to go. That's why for now I'm just going slowly on this one. I'm aiming for these beautiful levels like the 33,000, 33 and a half, and so on and so on. But look, at this point, my nose is itchy. So for now, I would say, look, if we are considering some higher levels, we can still do so. The only problem, of course, is with this week because we do have a bunch of data that's coming out this week. So as I already spoke in my yesterday's morning video, which you can also, by the way, check out, still not too late. Of course, we'll keep an eye on the data from Europe, from the US, because also we have some Japanese numbers are coming out. The trade balance, the Japanese trade balance coming out on Thursday. I'm just scrolling through this one, and of course, he has the BOJ interest rate decision on Friday. So, in other words, up until Thursday morning and Friday morning, I think that this will be very reflective of what's going to be happening in the US and Europe. So just kind of be cautious of that. So if we do see today, for example, inflation numbers coming out higher than U.S. inflation numbers coming out higher than expected, then, well, that may kind of spook the market a little bit. Maybe we could see, a drift back to the downside. But look, from the technical perspective, what I'm going to do here is this. If we do start falling back below the 32,733 territory, I will consider a larger correction here to the downside towards the upside support line taken from the low of the 11th of May. ASX 200. Look, here we had a nice reversal. Of course, also the China news came out nicely here. So with, the PBoC kind of cut its reserve, the 7-day reserve purchase rate by 10 basis points. That rate is meant to stimulate the economy in the short run. So, could be a good sign. And this is also like we can see that ASX 200 is pushing nicely to the upside. And I get it; it's Australia's index, but given that Australia and China have very, very close ties and very close trade ties, yes. So. That's why it kind of matters, and that's why we're looking at this, at ASX 200, for example, also from the Chinese data perspective as well. So for now, I would say if you're looking for some higher levels, then yes, certainly. At the moment, there is potential for that, but as I said before, a push above the 200-day EMA may do the trick here for a few more buyers and could open the door towards the upper side of the falling channel, because this is where we are currently at. We are in, not at, but in. We are in this falling channel pattern. So in a way, yes, we could bounce around here up and down, but overall, the short-term trend is still to the downside. Now, let's see how China reacted. Nothing. Almost nothing here. So I think that everybody else reacted more than China. And we got that move. We got that kind of little pop, but really not really significant enough. So that's why for me at this point, I would say, look, I'm still considering the same idea as valid. So the 12,600 territory, that's something that I'm keeping a close eye on. And if we do clear it and stay above it, then yes, I will go further north. By further north, I mean towards the 12,821, the 50-day EMA, maybe the 100, or even maybe the 200. But the 200 is coinciding nicely with this downside line. But let's go slowly. Let's not rush into anything for now. For the downside, well, I think that it's time to mark this. I think that the downside scenario could come on a break of this upside line. And if we do break it, then yes, I will consider some lower levels here. I will consider a move maybe towards this 12,237 or where's that horizontal ray? There we go. Or towards this 12,200 zone. And then we will kind of go from there. That's honestly, there's not much to talk about China 50 here. I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards the upside, but given that we are in a week of potential surprises, of course, that's why I'm going to be a little bit on the careful side. Nasdaq 100. So yes, pop, beautiful. Boom, cleared the 14,725 territory and stayed above it. So yeah, if we want to go further north, guys, then yes, I will kind of consider this idea, of course, because as long as we stay above that 14,725, I am leaning towards the upside. If we start correcting back down here, back below the 14,642, that's where I will get a little bit more excited with the downside, and then I will consider a move towards this upside support line taken from the low of the 13th of March. That's it. Another thing here, I mean, look, the US indices yesterday pushed higher and they've gained. Nasdaq was the biggest gainer, but of course we have to remain careful because again today we have the CPIs, the US CPIs coming out, so check out your economic calendar when it's coming out in your region. But at this point, I mean, we saw that jump is basically, it's kind of indicating that the market is anticipating that there's going to be no rate hike. And according to the Fed Watch tool, yes, 78.1 right now for no hike. And I believe that, yeah, it might stay like that. It will continue. It will stay like that. I don't think that even the CPIs are going to do any, or change anything. I think that, on the contrary, that China did cut the rate Yeah, that's something, you know, that maybe the Fed will say that this is like that extra confirmation that we don't need to hike it now. And I mean, in a way, that will be seen as, or should I say, could be seen as a positive for the indices. So yeah, and for the stocks, of course. So yeah, in a way, more upside could be possible. I will aim for my next target here. This area between the 15,260 and 69 levels, approximately around here, guys. These are the highs of the this is the highest point of February of 2022 and the highest point of March of 2022, respectively. So yeah, 15,260 is the highest point of February 2022. 15,269 area approximately is the highest point of March of 2022. So long story short, I'm leaning towards the upside. But yeah, leaning towards the upside very carefully just because we have some data coming out. The S&P 500, similar story. Boom, exploded above this barrier right here, this 4,325, 4,327. We cleared that one, and yes, my next target was the 4,355. We tested that one, and that's the this inside swing low of the the 17th of April 2022. So currently we're getting a hold up here, but look, if that gets cleared, if that's just seen as a little pit stop on the way higher, then yes, certainly much higher levels could be possible, and we could maybe even aim for that 4,500 zone, or just slightly above that 4,509 area. But for now, yes, we're keeping a close eye on the CPIs today. Dow, similar story. Yes, popped higher. Look, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. Yesterday, if you remember, I talked about this, and I said that if we do stay above the 33,850 territory, then yes, I will go further north. So I'm still leaning towards the upside, towards this target only for now. If we clear it, then yes, great. Okay, we could go further north, but at this point, yes, I am still aiming to the upside, and my next target is the area between the 34,269 and 282 levels, approximately around here. Slightly above that, we do have the 34,363, which is also a good target because that's the highest point of May. But yeah, of course, for now, let's go slowly on this. The German index, DAX, there we go, guys, there we go. So we popped nicely to the upside. And look, I talked about this and I said that once we start pushing through this 16,063 territory, that's when I'm going to aim higher. And also, we probably saw here a nice falling channel. Boom. Or maybe, you know, it was a nice bullish flag forming. So there we go. So a falling channel ended up being a nice bullish flag. So that's perfect. I've mentioned this before last week in my previous videos. And yes, basically worked out like a charm. But mainly I was looking at these levels, the 16,063. Certainly, the acceleration here is for the fact that there is kind of potential that yeah, the rate will stay. There won't be any rate hikes, and then, you know, we will it will stimulate the economy and stuff like that. The only thing is that what DAX needs to worry about is the ECB, which is coming out this week, and they will most likely increase their rates. So, you know, I would say DAX might enjoy its moment for now, and then we'll see how the ECB will shape up this you know, this index. Because I think that when, just a quick reminder for myself, I think it's Thursday when this, Thursday, ECB is coming out. So check out the economic calendar for that. The FTSE 100, I mean, not much to talk about here. Just continues to oscillate. And look, I'm not going to talk about this, and basically I'm just going to stick to the same game plan, what I mentioned yesterday. I need to see a break of this downside line in order to go higher, and I need to see a break of this upside line in order to go lower. The only problem with the low side here is that we have another upside line taken from the low of the 13th of October, which in a way could mess up the game here a little bit for the bears. But hey, if we position ourselves correctly and accordingly, then yes, then more maybe then we can play it out nicely. But I will start looking at some lower levels if we do break this upside line drawn from the low of the 20th of March. The dollar index. So as I said to you, that I'm watching this idea of a possible descending triangle pattern. Although I'm really itching to draw this as a wedge pattern again, something like in the lines of this, which could be nice, could be great, but look, for now, at this point, it's too early to talk about. Even if it is a falling wedge, then yes, okay, it would be nice to see a break of the this, to the upside. I think that maybe it's better to start looking at some higher levels from around here, from around this territory, this downside line drawn from the high of the 31st of May, because then if we break that, our next target is this other downside line drawn from the high of the 21st of November of 2022. And if that gets cleared, then yes, certainly further upside here could be possible. But look, at the moment we're drifting lower. This is not a falling wedge. At the moment we're kind of leaning a little bit more towards the downside, but don't be surprised, for example, if we're only going to hit, let's say, something like the 100 or the 50-day EMAs, and then we're going to rebound and push back up. So again, given that we are in such days right now, that's why it's a little bit on the difficult side to say where exactly it's going to go. Because again, the US CPIs might shape it up later on today, give it like some sort of a direction, a more clear direction. If it's not going to give that, then basically the market is just waiting for the Fed, nothing else. Let's quickly jump into gold. Gold was in a roller coaster ride yesterday. That was honestly, lately gold is being very frustrating. I don't know. If you feel my pain, then you'll agree on this. But yes, gold has been a little bit on the frustrating side. Let me just, you know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna redraw all of it, because I wanna have a fresh look. I think I'm gonna redraw everything for now. Look, I want to get a fresh look right now because again, maybe that's what's confusing me at this point. Maybe the amount of lines here, but look, in general, what can I say? We're getting into a squeeze. We're getting into a squeeze right now, and of course, that if you do like squeezes like that, then yes, okay, great. I mean, it could show good opportunity, but at this point, look, it could break out either way. So if we start clearing one of the sides here of this this triangle, then great. I will kind of consider the next short-term directional move in the direction of the breakout. So if we do break the downside line and we clear the 50-day EMA, then yes, this could potentially attract more buyers. My only little problem with that further upside is that we are kind of having something around this. I will bring the previous lines back. So this whole area around that 1984-85 zone. So that's what's kind of could be tripping, the further upside. But if that gets cleared, well, guess what? More buyers could join in. Now, in terms of the downside, yes, of course, if we do break the lower side of the triangle, then yes, this could open the door towards some lower levels. 1932 could be a nice good target, but if that gets clear, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low. Silver is quite an interesting spot here. Basically, similar to gold, we're kind of waiting for something here, and I'm trying to see what's happening. Look, for now, I'm not going to get rid of some of these lines because some of these lines are quite... Actually, no, I'm going to get rid of this. This one I like, still good. Some of these barriers here. Okay, look, yesterday we got a hold of, this is what I talked about, this 24.29 zone. I talked about it yesterday, said that if we do jump above it and stay above it, then yes, I'll consider a further move north. We did test it, but we kind of failed to move above it. I'm just trying to see if this is going to work out. Okay, look, maybe, just maybe we do have something of a rising channel here. Don't really hold me to it because it's not picture perfect yet, but in general, maybe it's actually working out nicely with some of these levels. So look, if we do pop above this 24.29 territory, I will lean towards the upside. I'll aim for the highlighted zone right here, maybe initially aiming for the 24.50, then 24.63, 73 areas, and so on and so on. So these are my targets for now, and yeah, at this point I will do something like that. I can see that it's a little bit quiet in the chat room, so yeah, good morning everyone. As always, guys, good morning everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful start of Tuesday, guys. Jumping into oil, boom, there we go, we broke it, and look at this. I mean, this is great. This is where I keep on talking about my veggies and stuff like that, and it worked, and it kind of was a rising veg, and there we go, we broke it. We moved lower, but I said to you that I'm not going to aim further south. I'm going to aim only for this 67 territory. Well, look at this beautiful test. We tested that 67 zone, and now the question is, can we see a rebound back up? Well, I will say it this way. A few adjustments have to be made here, and I think that a few arrows have to be shifted. Look, I think that I'm gonna mark this instead of the previous line, so I'm gonna keep this on the chart. If you want to go further south, a drop below the 67 territory is required, and then yes, we could go for that 64.37 or the 63.66. For the upside, I had a bunch of these lines, but I think it's time for me to readjust them, and I think that yes, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to stick to this little area here, the 70.13. If we do jump back above it, then yes, I will go for higher levels. Bitcoin, after finding good support here on Saturday, I think, was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. After selling off and finding good support near the 200-day EMA, this move just proved me that I am watching the right area for a further move lower. So I said to you before that a drop below this territory right here, this 25,255 area, approximately around there, yeah, may attract more sellers into the game. Now, what I'm looking at here for the upside, well, I need to readjust this downside line. I think, yes, this way is going to be better. For the upside, I need to see a push at least back above this 26,550 territory. Then yes, we could go further. We could go further north. By further north, I mean this downside resistance line. Look, it's a little bit on the tentative side, don't get me wrong. It might work, not work out, but we at least have something. We have some sort of a target or something like that. Yeah, the 50-day EMA is a good target as well because it provided resistance, good strong resistance recently, but I want to be a little bit more on the careful side. So yes, I'm going to aim for that one first, and then I'm going to aim for this downside line. Yeah, Litecoin. Good support here, still the 75.34. I'm still keeping an eye on it. At the moment, we're getting a rebound. To be honest, not much to talk about here. It's just doing the same thing. Yeah, we found good support here. If we do fall below it, great. I will consider a further move south. Look, maybe we could draw a Fibonacci around here somewhere. We have this 23.6 coming up. yeah, maybe this could be a better Fibonacci. Okay, look, maybe this could actually be the better Fibonacci to draw. So if we're considering some higher levels, then yes, we could go higher, but let's put it this way. We are considering this move as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. Because, again, we could see a hold up somewhere maybe near the 38.2. And, yep, if we do get a hold up somewhere around here, then another decline could be possible. This upside line that I've drawn here, it's a little bit on the tentative side. Maybe it's going to be this here. Maybe it's going to be that. So I'm just keeping this one for now. It's kind of my last point, because if we start climbing back above it, then maybe actually we're not ready with the, with further declines. Maybe we'll actually go back higher. Let's jump into AUDNZD, so into Forex, guys. Okay, for now, what can I say? For now, it's a good move here. We had a good move. We're still having that good move. The only problem right now with further upside is somehow this 1.1033 territory is providing resistance. If we clear that, then yes, I will go further north towards that 1.1088. If we do, and now this level here, I need to adjust this and no longer need it. I think I'm going to mark this 1.10 zone approximately around here. If we do fall below it, I will consider a move to the downside. For the upside, yes, at the moment I'm leaning towards that, but I need a stronger push above this 1.1033 territory. AUDUSD. So something for you to keep in mind as well today. If we somehow get a good reaction in the dollar, a strong reaction in the dollar, then don't be surprised if we get a bit of a retracement here. We're back in this range which I talked about previously, but I think it's time to get rid of it. I think in general, I think that it's time to get rid of everything and just have a fresh look. Now, what I'm keeping an eye on here is this barrier, the 0.6818. Below that, we do have some other levels which could be interesting. For example, this 0.6797 territory. It marks a few highs here, where we had a few overshoots here, as you can see. But in general, it marks a few highs. If you want to go further north, guys, I think that this is the point where you have to be a little bit more on the careful side, because look, we had a good run from around here, from the end of May. From the 0.6458, we traveled all the way towards this 0.67 and above territory, almost kind of getting closer to that 0.68. So in a way, good run, I would say, without a good correction back down. And I'm at the moment what I'm keeping an eye on, because what I'm curious about, that I'm hoping to see a correction, a nice, good, strong correction to the downside, and then maybe a move, back up. But the question is, will this go a little bit further north? Will it go a little bit more to the upside? That's a good question. And to be honest, I'm kind of leaning towards that. I think what we could see here is, let's say today, a further move north, a test of this territory, a hold up somewhere here, and then maybe tomorrow, if the Fed kind of helps out the dollar, the US dollar, we could see a strengthening, and yes, a drift back down could be possible. Look, the way the Fed could help out the dollar, if they're not planning to raise rates anymore for now, it's by the way they're going to be, talking, the way the press conference is going to go, how Jerome Powell will speak, and basically maybe they will say that they're still concerned about the economy, about the inflation, and they need to, they will have to stick to interest rate hikes in the near future or something like that, and this could push the dollar, maybe back to the upside a little bit. Maybe it would be a short-term kind of reaction or something like that. But just kind of keep that in mind. That at some point, I mean, if you think that if they're going to come out without any interest rates sorry, yeah, without any interest rate hikes, but still, let's say the dollar will rally, then maybe actually something's happening during the press conference where, the rhetoric is that there are more hikes to come, and stuff like that. So this is what could drive, the US dollar. So just don't be too categorical. Just go with what you see on the chart. AUDCAD, just a quick update on this one. Look, I've talked about this for a while ago, and so far it kind of is working out. And my target got reached. I previously said that if we do pop above the 0.8944 territory, somewhere around here, then yes, my next target is the 50-day EMA, the 100, then the 200, and this 0.9043 territory. And we got that. So great. What's next? Well, to be honest, I'm going to continue targeting the upside here, and I will continue aiming for some higher levels, unless we see some sort of a strong hold up near this 200-day EMA. If that somehow continues to provide resistance, then maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible. However, if we clear that, my next target is the 0.9107. Yeah, USDCHF. USDCHF, good move. Yesterday pushed higher, but look, my target got reached, but it didn't, we didn't stay above it. So we flirted with the 0.9107. So what's next? Well, basically, my next step is a push above the 0.9107. Yes, if we do clear that, I'll go higher. For the downside, a drop below the 0.8986. I still need that in order to consider some moves lower, because at this point, we're just going to oscillate around the EMAs, and that's no good for anybody. USDJPY, also something that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on, because, again, we are forming something of a descending triangle pattern. According to all the tier rules, these patterns tend to break to the downside, but a confirmation break of the lower side is required. So until I get that, I'm not really getting comfortable with the downside, because again, how many times I've seen this descending triangles breaking out in the wrong direction. Yeah, that was a lot of times. So I'm still keeping an eye on this downside line, but I'm only targeting then the 140.45 or this 140.93 territory marked by the current, not the current, but the highest point of May. USDCAD, beautiful rebound, initial rebound from this upside line, and now we're drifting back down. So look, I'm still kind of considering this idea here. I talked about this yesterday with you. So yeah, for now, everything's kind of okay. Everything's okay, still for the bulls. I mean, as long as we stay above this upside line, then yes, there is potential for some upside. If we start breaking it and stay below it, well, guess what? I will consider a bit of a move to the downside. GBPCHF, still doing what it's doing good. It's still going a little bit to the upside. We're currently finding some resistance near this 1.1390 territory. Look, I'm still not excluding the possibility of seeing a correction here, a retest of this downside line, and then maybe a push back up. So at this point, yeah, I'm keeping an eye on this barrier. If with this 1.1390, if we do clear it, my next target is the 1.1414 area, which provided strong resistance previously. And actually, let me mark this one, because I really like this area of resistance. If that gets cleared, guys, well, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high and potentially could attract more buyers into the game. GBPUSD, looking good. Oh, by the way, I think there's some positivity that kicked in. Let me just, how could I miss that one out? Yeah, the numbers came out, the British employment numbers. So unemployment rate declined 3.8 from the previous 3.9. Average earnings 6.5. Okay, higher earnings, higher average earnings, excluding and including bonuses. Okay, in a way that's good. Right now you can see that yes, there is a good reaction in this. in the British pound. But there should be, I think, there's not much reaction here in the FTSE. Okay, but the pound is reacting good. Okay, this is interesting because look, the numbers are good. Yes, positive for the pound, but why? Because basically that means that maybe more interest rate hikes could come from the Bank of England, because these numbers mean that there is more purchasing power, for the consumer, and basically this could lead to some higher inflation, and that this is where the BOE would take steps accordingly. So, and that's why we are seeing some positivity here in the pound, and yes, pushing higher. Either way, for me, that doesn't matter. Why? Because until I'm going to get my breakouts here, I'm not really doing anything with this one. I'm just observing the price action. I need to adjust a few lines here. I think it's time. This one can go, this one, yep. So yeah, if we do push through this 1.26 territory, that's where I'm going to get a little bit more excited with the upside. Because again, a break of this downside line may attract more buyers, and a forthcoming higher high also could attract more buyers. EURGBP is something that I don't look at very often, and I think I need to remove all the drawings. I think it's time. So one thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a downside line, because this is something I think that we should keep an eye on, because look, today we tested it again, and it provided fantastic resistance. Now, the problem is that we failed to break it. But again, nothing is lost yet, so there is still potential. We can see a break of it. And I would think that I'm going to mark this current highest point of today. This is what I'm going to keep an eye on for today, the 0.8613 mark. And if we do clear that, this could signal a change in the direction of this short-term trend, and we could go towards the 50-day EMA initially. That's what I'm going to aim for. I don't have a specific level. Maybe this could work out something around these lines, but we'll see. For now, it's this. For the downside, if we do start falling back below this little hurdle, this 0.8567, then yes, I'll start looking at some lower levels, but then I have a problem with this here area, the 0.8541. If that provided fantastic support, if it gets cleared, then yes, a forthcoming lower low will be confirmed. EURCHF, beautiful rebound, beautiful move here. And if I would have the falling wedge that I kept on talking about this one, I would say, you know what, worked out perfectly, and I told you so. No, it didn't work out perfectly, because again, we had some violations around here, and it kind of moved back inside, and then it was all over the place. So that's why yesterday I decided to take a simplistic approach here, and just stick to these two levels here, or I should say the area around the 50-day EMA. We cleared that, and I'm going to aim for higher levels now. My next target is the 100-day EMA right here, near the 0.98 territory, and then yes, I'm going to go slowly to the upside. And finally, EURUSD. So this one's okay, I've drawn a rising wedge here on yesterday, but look, some of you are probably looking at something different here. Now, I'm having this for now on the chart, but also maybe some of you are considering this to be a nice double bottom pattern, with the neckline being around here, or approximately around here, I would say. Look, it could be the case. We are pushing higher, yes, from this neckline actually. So let's see if that's going to work out. If we start clearing my upper side of this rising wedge, then yes, of course, my next target is the 50-day EMA, or maybe even we could go further north. So we could maybe aim then for that 1.0831 or 48 levels. For the downside, I would need to see, well, a drop back below the this hurdle, this 1.0760 hurdle, may actually attract a few more sellers into the game. We could go a little bit lower here, and we could aim for that 200-day EMA or this upside line actually before that. So just to kind of keep in mind. So yeah, at this point, like I said, that's the game plan. If we do test this this upside line, or sorry, the other way around. If we do break below the 1.0760 territory, then yes, I will aim for this upside line and the 200-day EMA. That's it, guys, for the session. This was a very quick one. To be honest, there's a lot of things that are still the same. Not much to talk about there. And yeah, I will. Yeah, at the moment, I'm just keeping an eye on the numbers today. We do have an eventful day. Look, we got the numbers from Australia today. Actually, the business confidence number, which well, declined significantly. So kind of it was at 0 previously, and the expectation was for a 0, but it came out at -4. Business survey, as NAB business survey in Australia, also declined. So we do have some bearishness, and but that's in Australia. Let's see how inflation comes out today in the US. That's the main one to watch. Be careful. Have your stop losses in place, guys, and only risk what you can afford to lose. That's my advice for you in general, not only for today, but in general. And then, yes, everything will be fine. So, in general, but for now, I would like to thank you for joining my session, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much who joined in live and those who are going to still watch it in replay. So, yeah, thank you. Really appreciate that. It means a lot. So, I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day. Join me tomorrow morning. We'll have a look at what happened with the CPIs and how we can position ourselves for the Fed. So join me tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock GMT time. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Hey there, thank you very much for watching this one till the end. I really appreciate that. So, like this video, we speculate your next mouse movement will be towards the subscribe button.